But anyways, let's watch the next Boar video. Oh shit, I think my camera's a little bit too big now.
On April 25th, at this bus stop, one boy, 15 years old, shot and killed a 17-year-old boy with a revolver.
WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota, Bradenton.
That'll work.
Lost media is a topic that I have been enamored by for years, yet have surprisingly not formally gotten into. The thought of disturbing TV broadcasts, audio...
You guys want me to leave the subtitles on or turn it off? It doesn't matter to me, yeah. Yeah, 2017 game, dude. Like, put it on sale for like $25 to $30, dude. That's all you gotta do. I was taking out the trash, heard an explosion, really loud like fireworks. Hope it wasn't a gun, but yet it is getting close to July 4th. Dude, I've been hearing shit like that too. And you know what? I think it was fireworks for real. I think I actually got a definitive answer because as I was driving Bridget into work 2 days after that, someone had put up a sign where a guy is like making and selling his own fireworks. I don't even know if that's legal. I don't think it is legal in my state, but I think it was either the guy who's selling it or somebody who knows that guy, and they were like testing it. I don't fucking know, but it scared the shit out of me. There's a clip of it.
And VHS footage that had been lost to time is fascinating, and the links that people go to find them is incredible. So much dark and disturbing content has existed even before the internet, and the aim of this series is to dive into them, their search, and their stories, because, as it turns out, some of the darkest lost media out there seems to have always existed among us.
Amagus. 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 Exactly, Dr. Red. You're picking up what I'm putting down, and I love that. No problem, Dr. Red. You know what's fucked up is as soon as I start to drink coffee, I yawn. Because here lately, I cannot goddamn fall asleep after work.
The following is a presentation of the Christian Television Network.
What the fuck was that? You know, that is crazy though. Think about all the lost like VHS tape workout videos and shit that have never been translated over to DVD. There's probably tons.
Come and join us for a half hour of fun and games at Joy Junction. Now here's Sheriff Don.
Hi, good to see you.
1980. A show is broadcasting on the Christian television network named Joy Junction. It's textbook public access TV, set at the eponymous village and hosted by the town sheriff. Throughout the show's lifespan, the town residents would join in for educational bits about the Bible, and kids were encouraged to take part in various games. It seemed to have been pretty successful during its time, as it was on the air for a few years. Bizarrely, nearly every record and archive of this show ever existing have been wiped though, merely leaving us with a handful of surviving re-uploads on YouTube. This has, admittedly, made it difficult to find any further information about Joy Junction aside from what we can distill from the existing footage. But that's okay, because that's not the main reason we're here anyway.
Hi, everybody. What's happening?
Hey, Ron. Good to see you.
Oh, and I've been waiting on you. Oh, I'm sorry I got tied up, Marty.
Oh, is it ventriloquist?
And the stores were busy. You know how it is when you go shopping.
One of the show's cast members was a ventriloquist by the name of
Ron, okay.
And he was present in nearly every episode, joined by his doll Marty.
They're going to come back. Well, I did come back, didn't I? Yeah. I told you I would come back, didn't I? Yeah. And I'm sorry.
Typically, they'd have a quick conversation about whatever the topic of the day was, and it, at least in the
The fucking hair on the doll is so funny.
to serve as a bridge between two segments of the show.
Why does the
Ron's
doll have
full
scene
name was
hair?
Ronald Brown, and in the years following the show's eventual end, he'd launch his own puppeteering company out of Florida called Puppets Plus. On his website at puppetsplus.com, we can observe a myriad of their clients, along with the age groups that he was primarily hired for. Ages 2 to 5 and 6 to 11. Now, at first glance, this seems par for the course in his profession. Children's entertainment was his forte. However, it's when we back up and take a look at Ronald as a person when things begin to sour. You see, throughout the years, Ronald had a strange dynamic.
They're really
with
talented
children.
ventriloquists.
For instance, in 1998, he was pulled over for a traffic violation and was found to be in possession of boys' underwear.
Oh god.
His excuse was that he used them for his puppets, and he was eventually let off. Other complaints came throughout the 2000s about him giving rides to kids in his church van. Unfortunately, police could never do much because there wasn't any explicit crime being committed. It was incredibly strange, but unfortunately not enough to warrant any sort of arrest. Where things really get nutty though, is when we jump to the early 2010s, in which Brown would find himself caught in a web of controversy.
Dude, how old was he at this point? Early 2010s, and that was 1980? He must have been like 50 or 60. Oh god, not the gateway computer, dude. That's like CompuServe or some shit. Oh, Windows XP. Dude, Windows XP. Classic. You guys remember that on every school background was this fucking photo? Every school computer background when I was in school had this background. This was when I was in like grade school though. This is The Darkest Lost Media by Nextbor. What's up, Operation Streaming Festival? When you were in school, Sick Boy, it was probably Windows 7. Because I'm an old fuck. Toward the later end of my schooling, though, it was Windows 8.1.
In May of 2012, a man named Michael Arnett was arrested after a sting operation. He was charged with the production of, and upon searching his home and computer, they would find chat logs on Yahoo Messenger between he and a person going by the name
No,
Lime.
That's not real.
As it turned out, Arnett would produce these images and distribute them to various others online from the username CK3666, Sweet Talker Linda, and Calfkeeper 2. You'll notice that UE Lime was outward about their desires. They expressed interest in cannibalism, torture, sexual assault, and all of it was directed towards children, even as young as 2.
Holy fuck.
The catch here, though, is that UE Lime wasn't just a random person.
Ron Arnett.
It was Ronald Brown.
Oh
his
god.
secret online alias in which he'd express his fantasy about the kids he surrounded himself with daily. Let me remind you that this was a man whose entire career, entire life, was centered around associating with kids. Someone who was, at one point, on television in front of thousands. To say that these chat logs were a bad look would be putting it lightly. And yes, the messages you're seeing are straight out of the official case
Oh my
file.
god, I was saying please don't let them be real. Oh my god. Lock him up for 300 years, what the fuck? Download his conscience into a jail cell, for fuck's sake. Download it and then put it in a jail cell so he can never escape. Oh god, my eyes. Too fucking bright, Nextbor. I love you, Nextbor, but this one, no.
Before we continue, just a couple quick announcements. First off, I'd like to formally announce my second channel, called Nexpo After Hours.
Yep.
Here, I aim to have enough from now. So if you're into that sort of thing, fine.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
New merch is now
Yeah.
cuts. Expo. Response.
Thank you. Support Expo. The Vitaphone Corporation. Holy shit. That just sounds ancient.
The year is 1928.
Yep, that's what I was
and a romantic
thinking.
disaster film about Noah's Ark hits theaters. Directed by a man named Michael Curtis, it premieres during a transitional period between silent movies and talkies, or films with actual spoken dialogue.
Talkies.
Because of this, it's mostly regarded as a hybrid film with long scenes being played over music, and with it comes a healthy dose of extensive criticism. Most of the backlash is due to its runtime, clocking in at a whopping 2 hours and 15 minutes long, with considerable portions containing awkward dialogue and drawn-out scenes. Sitting through this movie is, to put it lightly, a considerable undertaking. Because of this, the film is pulled for revision, and the cut content is never shown again.
Hey, welcome back, Dr. Red.
A good portion of the cut footage came from what the movie is mostly known for today, and that's the flood scene.
Okay. Yeah, didn't people actually die in this?
In it, we can observe a slew of actors fighting their way out of a crumbling temple and towards the Ark to stay alive. It's a grandiose set with a lot going on, and keeping in mind the time period, all of this was pulled off with practical effects. These people were legitimately submerged.
Proper attire for proper stream.
To be pretty well done. Like I said, this scene is grand, and due to the time period, was all pulled off practically. The thing is, some of these actors weren't actually acting, as during this scene, 3 actors drowned and 1 reportedly lost their leg. This was the result of over 600,000 gallons of water being dumped across the set, something that the film's extras were reportedly unaware of. It's been reported that, before filming commenced, Michael Curtis was warned against putting so many people in danger. However, he shrugged it off, claiming that the extras were expected to be prepared for anything, and that, quote, they're just gonna have to take their chances. In the original cut of the movie, it's rumored that you could see these deaths happen on screen with a much more fleshed out flood scene. However, since the revisions, that original version is forever considered lost. It's rumored that Curtis was in pursuit of relentless perfection. He wanted this movie to be grand and authentic. However, in this chase came a loss of life that did not need to happen, leaving Noah's Ark forever stained with an enduring legacy of tragedy.
For what purpose? You know, there is a movie from the 30s called Freaks. You guys should check out a movie from the 30s called Freaks. It's kind of a similar situation where the ending was cut because it was too shocking. But it's still a pretty shocking movie even without that. That's true, Dr. Ed. That's true. You just gotta take it one day at a time, man. One foot in front of the other.
Win Armstrong for Coast Federal.
WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota, Bradenton.
We're with you on ABC Review.
The year is 1972, and a reporter named Christine Chubbuck eagerly lands a job at WXLT Channel 40 in Sarasota, Florida. Initially hired as a reporter, she was reassigned to a spot named Suncoast Digest, a local affairs segment that ran at 9 a.m. every Saturday.
She looks familiar.
During her time there, she'd become attracted to a fellow reporter named George Ryan and would seek his attention by baking him cakes and expressing a desire to hang out. When she realized that he was already romantically involved with another coworker, however, it was detrimental to her self-image, as Christine historically had difficulty finding love. According to her family, she'd go on dates with various men throughout the years, however had trouble connecting socially with them. On top of this, by 1973, Chubbuck underwent surgery to have one of her ovaries removed, and as a result, her doctors began to pressure her, claiming that if she wasn't able to conceive within 2 to 3 years thereafter, she may never be able to.
The following program
Sorry, I know I'm not reacting hard. I'm just watching.
on NBC.
It's hard not to get absorbed.
Super spy Fred Flintstone is off on the trail of the mysterious green goose, a master of
Tonight we begin with the death of a man armed with scissors. He was shot by police 24 times.
Do something. Get him to do something about the problem. Meantime, they say they're going to back the leafleting up with a meeting this Friday with city and state officials.
Good evening. More than 100 people were reported dead in a plane crash near New York's Kennedy Airport this afternoon. The plane was an Eastern Airlines 727 nearing the end.
As 1974 approached, Chubbuck witnessed a shift in news methodology. Christine always had a desire to pursue what she believed to be high-impact stories about issues affecting the community. However,
Yeah, see, that's the thing. A lot of Twitch streamers, they'll react, quote-unquote, on their stream, and then when the edited YouTube upload goes up, it's all that kind of editing you're talking about. Zoom in to the face cam and just stuff like that, like pog faces and all that kind of shit.
XLT executives were leaning more towards stories that were juicier, per se, utilizing fear and sensationalism to drive viewership.
That still
in turn
happens.
Generating revenue.
This still happens.
The news she was tasked with reporting began to shift further and further towards spectacle and shock, and she frequently rallied against this to no avail. Resultingly, she became stuck in a mindset, in a world that she was growing to hate. Her professional life, her personal life, everything around her.
Like, if anything, I'd just say that's gotten worse with the news over time.
Good evening, I'm Steve Newman, and this is Channel 40 Weather Watch. It's going to be even cooler tonight than tomorrow night than tonight. The reason for this, with the passage of the cold front today, when we picked up some showers, skies have cleared very nicely. And as a result...
On the 15th of July, 1974, Christine enthusiastically entered the station. Instead of opening Suncoast Digest traditionally, however, she claimed that there was a newscast she had to read to open it, something that hadn't been done hitherto. She takes her seat at the news desk, and for the first 8 minutes, opens her segment about 3 national news stories and a shooting that took place the day prior. Following this, a film...
Yeah, dude, when we went to watch the Joker movie, me, my girlfriend, Tusk, and his partner, we went to watch the Joker movie when it came out, and they had cops, like, frisking everybody that went in. It's like, dude, nobody's gonna... We're just here to fucking watch a movie. They had cops all over the place. As if something was, like, guaranteed to happen. And because the news had constantly peddled that something was going to happen. And then, guess what happened? People danced on stairs. What the fuck?
To play, but had jammed.
Well, they weren't wrong. Something did happen. People danced on a lot of staircases. That was about it.
Leaving a few moments of dead air. In response, Christine apologized for the error before taking out a script she had handwritten and reading to the viewers the following.
I'm not sure, Jordan. It's possible, but I mean, they acted like it was going to be like a nationwide thing. Like it was just going to be violence left and right. It was discovered on April 9th. If you'd like to skip this section. Oh, God. Wait, what?
For the error before taking out a script she had handwritten and reading to the viewers the following.
Statistics. This weekend, being typical of the recent rash of violence, saw one man stabbed, another assaulted, and a third shot and wounded. Sarasota police report the finding of an 18-year-old, a man by the name of David Wynn, in the parking lot of a friendly tavern on 27th Street. Wynn had an apparent stab wound in the chest, which, according to witnesses, was inflicted by James Whitworth during a fight. Police charged Whitworth with aggravated assault. Wynn is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. The second attempted armed robbery in a week has involved law enforcement officers from both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Last week, teenage gunmen held up the highway bar and, after a shootout and high-speed automobile chase, held a family hostage and finally were nabbed by Sarasota Sheriff's deputies. Early Sunday morning, the Beef and Bottle restaurant north of Sarasota...
Like, they're so casual about reporting this shit.
...was the site of an attempted armed robbery and shooting. TV 40 newsman Bob Peterson was on the scene shortly after it began, and he filed this report. Sorry, for those of you who saw Late Night Weekend News Watch last night, we did have a film report and a commentary by Bob Peterson. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties and cannot bring it to you now. However, News Watch tonight at 5:30, and we'll have that story for you then. As of this morning, Grace Foster, who was shot in that incident, is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. In keeping with the WXLT practice of presenting the most immediate
what is happening?
Reports of local blood and guts news,
Oh.
TV 40 presents what is believed to be a television first. In living color, exclusive coverage of an attempted suicide.
Oh, God.
At this moment, Christine drew a Smith & Wesson revolver that she had hidden in her bag, placed it behind her right ear, and fired, immediately falling forward onto her desk. In a frantic response, the tech directors quickly faded the broadcast to black and scrambled to play a movie thereafter. Calls began to flood in, with viewers questioning the authenticity of what they just witnessed, with some believing that this was just a morbid joke or a prank. However, it was far from it. She was rushed to Sarasota Hospital, and back at the station, the news director, Mike Simmons, had discovered 2 pages of a script left behind by her. The first page contained what we heard prior, however the second was a follow-up intended to be read by a third party. Today, Christine Chibuk during a live broadcast. She was rushed to
No. I think that was in 2011, though, wasn't it, Jordan? Wasn't that in 2011? We're talking about the 2019 Joker. I think you're talking about Aurora. But we were mainly the 2019 one. It seemed like there was a news story like every single day before that movie came out talking about, be careful because this is going to happen. It's almost like they were trying to materialize something that was never going to happen. The 2011 one was tragic. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it wasn't.
Where she remains in critical condition. Surprisingly, Christine's prediction turned out to be correct. Not only because she was at that very hospital, but because she remained in critical condition for 14 hours until her eventual death. Christine's body was cremated and spread in the Gulf of Mexico, marking the end of a life full of despair. To those around her and to her loved ones, however, an agonizing void was left that would forever go unfilled. Reportedly, only one tape of this incident existed and was kept by Bob Nelson, the station's owner. After his death, his wife Molly would inherit it before handing it over to a law firm for good. As of now, this is where it lies, and for the foreseeable future, may never see the light of day.
Is that it? Oh. Oh, somebody in the comments was talking about this.
We will
The table.
return after these messages.
Good morning.
To preface this last entry, I'd like to state from the outset that the following could be absolutely nothing. The answer could be completely mundane.
Yeah, that is weird,
the
Dr.
footage in
Red.
this section has personally
Milk and
stood out to
ramen do
me
not go
because of
together.
how bizarrely out of place it is, and how little info there is about it. I was gonna put it in the next disturbing things. However, I think it fits better here. Let us begin. It's the 1980s.
Beetlejuice. A cartoon.
Beetlejuice makes its debut. Journey, Survivor, Guns N' Roses, and our favorite Rick Astley are on the airwaves. And over on a stand-up comedy show named An Evening at the Improv, a child actor turned musician named Corey Feldman is world premiering his latest track, Something in Your Eyes.
See, people don't realize he's been making music since
I'm
then.
going to start the show off tonight a bit differently than usual. What I'm going to do is I'm going to world premiere my song that I just finished writing and producing with Michael Damian from my new movie, Dream a Little Dream, with Jason Robards. It's called Something in Your Eyes. I'm going to do it right now.
Oh my god, this is so 80s. What the fuck? He's trying to be Michael Jackson. He's doing Michael Jackson moves. Damn, Corey.
He had a mixed reaction from the audience. Clearly lip-syncing and taking inspiration from Michael Jackson, he employs dance moves in a musical style that attempts to emulate them. Upon looking through comments about him on YouTube, it's clear that history hasn't exactly been kind to Feldman. But that's beside the point. The reason I bring this video up in the first place is because, towards the song's end, Feldman's producer makes an incredibly strange cutaway to something that is very out of place for a video like this. Have a look.
You shouldn't have let it go. You should have held on. Stop running away.
He mentioned, someone in the comments mentioned what this was, though. Cocaine, Corey? Yeah, seriously. It was the 80s.
Here? Nowhere in this song does Feldman make any sort of mention about a woman being bound to a pool table. And after performing a cursory scan of his other music videos, cutaways like this never happen again. This seems eerily out of place, and discussion about this is painstakingly few and far between. The only mentions I could find about it were from Reddit and a few YouTube comments. However, none of them garnered much attention, and their sources are pretty much non-existent. With that being said, let's circle back to the footage so we can break it down ourselves. As we can see, the video of this woman was patched in post-production. Unlike the other cutaways that happened prior, this one has a different border. It's in black and white, and seems to be slightly lower quality than his music video. In the footage, we have a woman with brown or black hair tied up on each corner of the pool table, is in what appears to be a small room with a swinging light above her, and seems to be moving because of...
So let me mention this comment. For the Corey Feldman pool table scene, it's a still from the movie Satan's Bed made in 1965. The woman is an unknown and younger Yoko Ono. It was made by Michael and Roberta Findlay, who were notorious for particularly rough sexploitation films they produced in the 1960s. As to why it's put in there, I couldn't tell you. He's right. Look up the movie on IMDb and it's right there in the trailer. Well, damn, that didn't take long. YouTube has the trailer too. It's the first few seconds. Great find. My guess is it's a prank, probably an intern or something sneaking in the frame. Another guess would be some kind of error or glitch.
Discomfort. To me, this footage could be one of three things. Either it's a scene from an obscure movie.
Yep, we found out that's the case.
Film. Or it could be from a legitimate film. Personally, I believe it's one of the first two, given how obvious this cutaway is on something that's been seen by hundreds, if not thousands, of people. If this were truly as sinister as it's been rumored, it would be a pretty stupid move to put it there. Regardless, this cutaway is one of the weirdest edits I have ever seen, and I'm still struggling to drum up a reason as to why it's there in the first place. I'm curious if you know anything about this, if you've seen it before,
already figured out
about it, anything. This is a weird little mystery, and this is where I'm calling for your help. Who is the woman on the table? Even apart from the internet, the world is dark. So many pieces of media have been forgotten and lost to time, and in this series, I aim to document and bring those back to light. Thank you so much for joining me in this first installment of The Darkest Lost Media. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, and I truly apologize for the delay on this one. I had to completely rework a section due to copyright issues, so it set me back pretty badly. Nonetheless,
yeah,
I really hope you guys like this.
I'm surprised this is on YouTube at all with all the questionable shit that was in that video. Lost media, you say? Nexpo asks the internet, has an answer within an hour. Slam dunked. That was a crazy fucking video. Holy shit. Very soon. So you guys have a great rest of the night, and I will talk to you later.
Subscribe for new weekly episodes of Creeps and Chill.